Welcome to your yin yoga practice. All you'll need for this class is a blanket and a cushion or yoga bolster. If you don't have a yoga bolster, then something like a pillow or a couple of pillows will definitely work just as well. And then make your way down to lay on your back to begin. Through this practice, I'm going to give minimal instructions so you can just enjoy relaxing, sinking into the poses. Begin by laying comfortably on your back with the knees bent. Take a moment to shuffle your shoulders away from your ears, to close your eyes. And begin slowing your breath. Now reach your arms up above your head, take a full body stretch, straightening out your legs. And we'll come into our first yin yoga posture. So we'll start by shuffling the head, arms and shoulders over to the right side of the mat. Making sure the shoulders feel comfortable. If it's a little tight around the shoulders, take the elbows wider. And then shuffle both of your feet over to the right side of your yoga mat too. Make sure not to roll onto your side, so you're still facing towards the ceiling. But your body has come into a curved side bend shape. There's also the option to try crossing your left ankle over your right. If that's not comfortable, you could release this and let their feet rest side by side instead. Make any other adjustments you need to make to get comfortable in this shape. And then try to let all of your muscles relax. Feel the stretch along the left side of your torso, through your shoulders and maybe down the side of your leg. And spend a little time here enjoying the stretch, the quiet, the calm. Taking the last few breaths now in this shape. And then bring your feet back to the center of the mat. Bring your arms, your head, your shoulders back, and let your arms come down to rest for a few moments. Take a little recovery time to bend the knees or rock the knees side to side. Do whatever your body wants to do to recover from that stretch. Now bring your cushion or yoga bolster over to the right hand side of your mat and turn to lay on your right side with your right arm extended out in front of you. If you have a blanket nearby, you could also bring this under your head as a little pillow. Then bring your top leg, your left leg, up and over onto the bolster with roughly a 90-degree bend at the knee, so the knee is up at your hip height. Straighten out the bottom leg, the leg that's resting against the ground. And then, trying to keep the knee resting on the bolster, start to shuffle onto your shoulder blades, coming into a spinal twist. Looking up towards the ceiling and taking your top arm, your left arm, either to rest on the side of your body with the hand resting on the ribcage or waist, or maybe you feel ready to drop that arm down behind you to open the shoulder a little bit more. Maybe you even feel ready to open the arm all the way out with the palm facing up. If you find in this position that the blanket under your head is actually not needed, you could always take it away. And the final thing you can do here is to turn your head slightly to the left to bring a small rotation into the neck. But as with all yin yoga postures, never push to the point of feeling pain. And let your body relax here, sinking into this spinal twist, a stretch for the back, hips and shoulders. As we go into about the last minute or so in this posture, there is the option, if you feel that it would benefit you, to take the cushions away and let your knee and your leg drop towards the ground. This is going to take you into a much deeper twist. If that feels too much, bring the cushioning back in under the leg. Taking the last couple of breaths now. And then to come out of this shape, just roll to lay on your back, repositioning your body in the center of the mat. And again, take a little time to recover. It might feel nice to straighten the legs and rest them. Or maybe you want to bend your knees, bring them to your chest. Now we'll repeat those two postures on the other side. So extend your legs out and take your arms up overhead. Begin by shuffling your head, shoulders and arms over to the left. And then take both of your feet over to the left too. Have a little shuffle around until this feels right. The option is there to cross your right ankle over your left if it feels comfortable. Let your shoulders sink into the mat, heavy through the arms and heavy through the legs as you rest in this side body stretch. Staying for just a few more breaths now. And then gradually releasing the stretch, bringing your feet back to the center of the mat, your upper body back to the center, resting your arms by your sides. And enjoying a few moments of recovery time to do whatever your body wants to do. Now we'll bring the bolster or the cushion over to the left side and turn to lay on your left side with your left arm extended out in front of you on the ground. Remember, you can use the blanket under your head for a bit more cushioning. Try to align your knees so that it's at your hip height, about a 90-degree bend in the knee. And then start to shuffle onto your shoulder blades so your chest is looking towards the ceiling. This might feel differently compared to the other side, so you may or may not be able to go into quite as deep of a twist this time. So your right arm might rest either down alongside your body, maybe with the hand resting on the side of your waist or rib cage, or your shoulder might feel open enough to open all the way out to the side with the palm facing up. Again, the option is there to turn your head slightly to the right, but only to the point where it feels safe. Then once you've found a version of this shape that you'd like to stay with, remind your muscles to relax, softening your jaw, your forehead, and settling into this shape. And for the last few breaths here, the option is there again to take the cushioning away and let the knee drop towards the ground, but only if that feels like it's adding something for you, and definitely not staying with that if it becomes too intense or painful in any way. Taking your last 2 breaths in this pose. And then rolling to lay on your back, releasing that stretch and taking a little recovery time. Now we're coming up into a variation of child's pose next, so gradually rolling to one side, make your way up into a seated position. Bring your blanket under your knees and sit back with the big toes together touching and the knees wide. Then bring your bolster or cushion lengthways in front of you. And as you start to walk your hands forwards and lean your chest onto the bolster or cushion, try not to lift your hips away from your heels. So still sitting the bum as far back to the heels as you comfortably and safely can, and hinging forwards at the hips to rest your chest and your head onto the cushion. Turning your head to one side and then relaxing your arms against the ground. Now, if you have your head turned to one side, turn your head to face the other way. Now you have the option to deepen this stretch if you'd like to by pushing away the cushion, the bolster, laying your chest and your forehead down towards the ground. But if you feel that doing this causes your hips to lift really high up, then I'd advise you to bring the cushioning back in so that you can continue to sit your hips as far back to your heels as possible. If you are resting your forehead to the ground, really extend your fingertips forwards and open your hands out wide so they're about as wide as your yoga mat. This is going to help you to get even more of a stretch into your shoulders, your chest and your back. Taking the last 2 breaths here in child's pose. Then slowly rising up to sit, coming to any comfortable seated position and taking a few slow, deep breaths. Now move your blanket aside for a moment and come to sit on your left hip with your knees to the edge of the mat and bring the bolster in sideways against your left hip. We're going to lean sideways over the bolster, so bring it really close in towards you and then slide your left hand along the ground. If it feels more comfortable, you could wedge the blanket between your neck and shoulder like a little pillow. And try and bring your shoulder, your rib cage up and over the bolster to rest here, opening the chest up towards the ceiling, and then taking your right arm up and overhead, resting the hands one on top of the other. Extending out the right leg so that you're in a lovely straight line all along the side of the body, stretching out the right hand side. If this is a little too much on your shoulder, then instead of bringing the arm straight up over your head, you could rest your arm just in front of your face and rest the hand against the ground there. Another option would be to continue with this pose, but bringing the right arm to rest alongside your body so that the shoulder is in less of a stretched position. So take your time to find a version of this that makes sense in your body, that feels safe to you. And then again, remind your body to relax here, consciously releasing tension from the facial muscles and slowing your breath. Taking just a few more breaths in this shape. And then start to release this posture. So bring your right arm down away from your ear and use your hand to help support you as you lift back up to sit. Come into a comfortable seated position for a few moments. Let your body recover from that stretch. Slowly breathing in and out. And then turn to face the other way so that now your right hip is resting up against the bolster, bringing the bolster really close to the side of the hip. Extend your right arm along the ground and bring your rib cage up and over the bolster, resting your head either onto your arm or maybe bringing the blanket between your ear and your shoulder for a little pillow. And then once you've got your body comfortable or as comfortable as possible, see how it feels to take your left arm up overhead and to extend out the left leg slightly. Again, if this is a little too much on your shoulder, remember you can either rest your arm just in front of your face or you could bring your arm down alongside your body instead. Final few breaths in this shape now. Slowly begin to make your way out of this posture, coming round into a seated position with the legs over the bolster now. Take a few moments there to breathe, to settle. And we're going to come down to the ground next, so you might like to use your blanket now to cover over your body to get warm and comfortable. Keeping the bolster just under the legs, start to lay down onto your back and find a position where you can easily and comfortably rest. We're coming into Savasana now, our final resting pose. Resting the legs over the bolster or cushion with a little space between the feet. And resting your arms down alongside your body, shuffling your shoulders away from your ears, turning your palms to face up to the ceiling. Relax around your jaw, maybe creating a little space between your top and bottom rows of teeth. And soften across your forehead. Relaxing from the top of your head all the way down to the bottom of your feet. Giving yourself complete permission to let go and enjoy the stillness. Begin to deepen your breathing. Notice the feeling of the ground underneath you, the feeling of your muscles relaxed, your body resting. And see if you could take the deepest breath you've taken so far today. Then when you feel ready, you could start to wiggle your fingers or your toes and gradually introduce a little bit of movement back into your body. Remember, there's no rush to get moving, so take your time. I'm going to leave you there for today, so gradually waking up when you're ready. But there is another minute or so of music on this video, so you've got a little bit more time before the video ends to continue waking up slowly. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed this yin yoga practice, and I look forward to seeing you in another video very soon.